Stop proving yourself. Every time you try to show your strength, you are literally handing your enemies the knife to destroy you. Most people believe noise equals power, but the art of war reveals a chilling truth. The loudest roar comes from the most exposed throat. True apex predators are silent. Today, we reveal the forbidden wisdom that 99% of people will never understand: how to reclaim absolute control. By becoming a ghost in the machine. Welcome to the art of strategic invisibility. We live in a world that glorifies noise. We praise those who speak first, those who dominate conversations, those who demand attention. We mistake volume for strength, arrogance for confidence, and exposure for influence. But this is a trap that has ensnared countless people who end up exhausted, manipulated, and defeated. They spend their lives chasing recognition, only to find that the more they reach for it, the more it slips away. They show their hand too early, reveal their weaknesses too freely, and become easy prey for those who know how to exploit vulnerability. Sun Tzu understood this centuries ago. He knew that true power does not come from noise, but from silence. True control does not come from display, but from invisibility. True victory does not come from confrontation, but from preparation. Today, we will unlock the ancient wisdom of Sun Tzu's art of war, not as a guide to battle, but as a blueprint for navigating the battles of everyday life. We will learn how to stop exposing our weaknesses, how to read the intentions of others, and how to use silence and strategy to take back control. This is not about manipulation or deception for its own sake. It is about self-preservation and efficiency. It is about becoming the kind of person who wins without fighting, who controls without demanding, who succeeds without boasting. This is the power of Sun Tzu's wisdom, the power of being silent, unseen, and unbreakable. Sun Tzu said, "The shape of an army is like water. Water has no fixed form, so it can never be broken." This is the first great truth we must embrace: the illusion of shape. In battle, an army that is rigid, that has a fixed formation, is easy to surround, easy to defeat. But water adapts to its surroundings. It flows around obstacles, fills every crevice, and conforms to any container. It has no fixed shape, so it can never be trapped, never be broken. This principle applies not just to war, but to every aspect of our lives, our careers, our relationships, our interactions with others. In the workplace, how many of us have allowed others to label us? We become known as the nice guy, the one who never says no, the one who can always be counted on to take on extra work. Or we become known as the troublemaker, the one who argues with every decision, the one who is always pushing back. These labels are not just descriptions, they are traps. They fix us into a rigid shape, a fixed identity that others can easily target. If you are labeled as a nice guy, people will take advantage of your willingness to compromise. If you are labeled as a troublemaker, people will dismiss your opinions and exclude you from opportunities. Either way, you lose control. You become a prisoner of the shape that others have assigned to you. The solution is to be like water, to refuse to be labeled, to refuse to be fixed into a single shape. When you have no fixed identity, when you do not allow others to define who you are, they cannot 针对 you. They cannot predict your reactions. They cannot 制定 a plan to manipulate you. For example, if a colleague tries to push extra work onto you by saying you are such a nice guy, you do not have to live up to that label. You can respond calmly, without anger or apology, and decline. If a leader dismisses your idea because they see you as a troublemaker, you do not have to react with defiance. You can present your idea with clarity and confidence, letting the merit of your words speak for themselves. By refusing to be boxed in, by adapting to each situation without losing yourself, you become unbreakable. This is not about being inconsistent or inauthentic. It is about being flexible. It is about understanding that different situations require different responses. A leader who is firm with an underperforming team member may be gentle with a colleague who is struggling. A friend who is direct with someone who is being unreasonable may be patient with someone who is hurting. Water does not change its nature. It is still water. But it changes its shape to fit the moment. In the same way, you do not change your core values, but you adapt your behavior to navigate each situation with wisdom and control. When you stop letting others define you, when you embrace the fluidity of water, you take back the power to shape your own life. Sun Tzu's second great principle is the distinction between void and solid. Avoid the solid, attack the void, in battle. A wise general does not charge head on into the enemy's strongest forces. He waits, he observes. He finds the weak spot, the void, and strikes there. This principle is just as powerful in our daily lives. Every person we interact with has a solid and a void. The solid is their strength, their confidence, their pride. It is the part of them they display to the world. The part they want us to see. The void is their weakness, their insecurity, their fear. It is the part they hide, the part they do not want anyone to discover. The key to controlling any interaction is to recognize the difference between the solid and the void. How do we do this? By observing, by listening, by paying attention to the subtle cues that others give off. When someone is boasting about their achievements, when they are talking loudly about their success, when they are seeking attention and praise, this is their solid. They are trying to project strength, to hide their insecurities. But beneath that boasting, beneath that loud confidence, lies their void. It may be a fear of failure, a fear of being unworthy, a fear of being overlooked. When someone is silent, when they are fidgeting, when they avoid eye contact, when they become defensive or angry at the smallest criticism. This is their void. It is the crack in their armor, the weak spot that we can use to protect ourselves and gain control. Too many of us make the mistake of confronting the solid. We argue with someone who is boasting. We challenge their pride. We try to outdo them. This is a mistake. Confronting the solid only makes the other person more defensive, more determined to prove themselves. It escalates conflict, wastes energy, and leaves us feeling drained. Sun Tzu teaches us to do the opposite, avoid the solid, attack the void, instead of arguing with someone who is boasting. Listen, let them talk. Let them display their solid. In doing so, they will unknowingly reveal their void. They will slip up. They will contradict themselves. They will show their insecurity. For example, imagine a colleague who is always boasting about their work, claiming that no one else can do it as well. This is their solid, their pride in their abilities. Their void may be a fear that they are not as good as they claim, a fear that someone will discover their mistakes. Instead of challenging their boasting, you listen. You ask questions. You let them talk about their process, their challenges, their successes. Eventually, they may mention a project that did not go as well, or a mistake they made, or a fear they have about an upcoming deadline. This is their void. Once you recognize it, you have the power to protect yourself. You do not have to compete with their solid. You do not have to prove that you are better. You simply have to avoid their strengths and focus on their weaknesses, if and when it is necessary. Another example, in a negotiation, the other party may be projecting confidence, talking about their leverage, their options, their willingness to walk away. This is their solid. Their void may be a fear of losing the deal, a fear that they have no other options, a fear that they are not prepared. Instead of being intimidated by their solid, you observe. You notice their fidgeting, their avoidant eye contact, their tendency to repeat the same points. You ask questions that force them to reveal their void. What happens if we cannot reach an agreement? What other options do you have? How important is this deal to you? As they struggle to answer these questions, their void is exposed. You can then adjust your approach, focusing on their weaknesses rather than their strengths, and gain the upper hand. The lesson here is simple. Do not fight fire with fire. Do not confront strength with strength. Instead, be patient, be observant, find the void, and use it to your advantage. This is not about being sneaky or underhanded. It is about being efficient. It is about using your energy wisely, focusing on what will give you the greatest advantage, rather than wasting it on meaningless confrontation. When you learn to avoid the solid and attack the void, you become a master of strategy, able to navigate any interaction with calm and control. Sun Tzu's third great principle is strategic deception. When you can do something, pretend you cannot. This is the art of strategic mediocrity, the practice of hiding your true strength, of letting others underestimate you, of using their qingshi as your greatest protection. In war, a general who shows his full strength too early gives the enemy time to prepare. Time to find his weaknesses, time to mount a counterattack. But a general who pretends to be weak, who hides his true power, catches the enemy off guard, he lulls them into complacency, makes them think he is easy to defeat, and then strikes when they are least expecting it. This principle is perhaps the most counterintuitive of all. We are taught to be proud of our strengths, to show them off, to let the world know how capable we are. But Sun Tzu warns us that this is a fatal mistake. The more you show your strength, the more others will prepare to counter it. The more you stand out, the more you become a target. The more you are seen as a threat, the more others will work together to take you down. Strategic mediocrity is not about being weak, it is about being smart. It is about hiding your strength until the moment it matters most. Think about it. How many times have you seen someone who is talented, who is capable, but who fails because they were too eager to show off? They get promoted too quickly. They speak up too much. They make enemies because they are seen as a threat. They burn out because they are carrying the weight of everyone's expectations. But the person who practices strategic mediocrity, who keeps their head down, who does their work quietly, who does not boast about their achievements, they fly under the radar. They are not seen as a threat. They are not targeted. They have the time and space to grow, to prepare, to build their strength without interference. For example, imagine a new employee who is highly skilled, who has the potential to rise quickly. Instead of boasting about their skills, instead of trying to impress everyone on the first day, they take their time. They observe the workplace dynamics. They learn from their colleagues. They do their work quietly and efficiently. They do not volunteer for every project. They do not argue with their superiors. They do not try to outshine their peers. They pretend to be ordinary, to be just another employee. This is strategic mediocrity. While others are busy showing off, while others are making enemies, this employee is building their strength, learning the system, and waiting for the right moment to strike. When an opportunity arises, when a project fails, when a team needs a leader, when a problem needs to be solved, they step forward, revealing their true strength, and because no one expected it, because no one saw them as a threat, they succeed where others would have failed. Another example, in a competitive industry, two entrepreneurs are vying for the same client. One entrepreneur is loud, boastful, always talking about their success, their connections, their capabilities. They are eager to show the client how powerful they are. The other entrepreneur is quiet, humble, focused on listening to the client's needs. They do not boast about their success. They do not talk about their connections. They simply ask questions and offer solutions. They pretend to be ordinary, to be just another option. The client, tired of the loud boasting, is drawn to the quiet entrepreneur. They feel heard. They feel respected. They feel that the quiet entrepreneur is focused on their needs, not on showing off. In the end, the quiet entrepreneur wins the client. Not because they are more powerful, but because they used strategic mediocrity to their advantage. They let the other entrepreneur show off, let them become a target, and then stepped in to win the day. Strategic mediocrity is not about being lazy or unambitious. It is about being patient. It is about understanding that success is not about being the loudest or the most visible. It is about being the most prepared, the most strategic, the most in control. It is about letting others underestimate you so that you can surprise them when it matters most. When you practice strategic mediocrity, you are not hiding your strength. You are protecting it. You are not being weak. You are being wise. You are not giving up. You are waiting for the perfect moment to strike. So far, we have explored three great principles from Sun Tzu's Art of War: the illusion of shape, the distinction between void and solid, and strategic deception. These principles are not just for generals on the battlefield, they are for every person who wants to take back control of their life, who wants to stop being manipulated, who wants to succeed without sacrificing their peace and energy. But there is a deeper truth here, one that Sun Tzu understood better than anyone. The art of war is not about war at all. It is about self-preservation and efficiency. It is about winning without fighting. It is about being so strategic, so calm, so in control that you never have to engage in unnecessary conflict. In a world that glorifies noise and confrontation, the true Qiangzhe is the one who remains silent. The true leader is the one who does not demand attention, but commands it through their actions. The true winner is the one who wins before the battle even begins. Sun Tzu's wisdom is not about being aggressive or manipulative. It is about being smart, being patient, being in control of yourself and your surroundings. It is about understanding that the most powerful weapon you have is not your voice, not your strength, not your achievements, but your ability to be silent, to observe, to adapt, and to strike at the right moment. There is a powerful saying that captures this truth. If you are everywhere, you are nowhere. If you are no one, you can be anyone. If you spread yourself too thin, if you try to be everything to everyone, if you are visible in every moment, you lose your power. You become easy to target, easy to predict, easy to defeat. But if you are quiet, if you are unseen, if you do not let others define you, you become untouchable. You can adapt to any situation, you can take on any role, you can win in any battle. You are no one in the eyes of others, so you can be anyone you want to be. This is the power of silence. This is the power of strategy. This is the power of Sun Tzu's wisdom. It is not about being perfect. It is not about never making mistakes. It is about being aware, aware of your own weaknesses, aware of the strengths and weaknesses of others, aware of the world around you. It is about being patient. Patient enough to wait for the right moment, patient enough to observe, patient enough to let others underestimate you. It is about being in control. Control of your emotions, control of your actions, control of your destiny. How many of us have felt exhausted by the constant need to prove ourselves? How many of us have felt manipulated by others who know our weaknesses? How many of us have felt like we are fighting a losing battle simply because we do not know how to navigate the complexities of human interaction? Sun Tzu's wisdom offers us a way out. It offers us a way to stop fighting, to start strategizing, to take back control. If you are tired of meaningless competition, if you are tired of being manipulated, if you are tired of feeling like you are not in control of your own life, then it is time to embrace the wisdom of Sun Tzu. It is time to stop showing off, to start observing. It is time to stop confronting, to start adapting. It is time to stop being everywhere and start being nowhere so that you can be anyone. Subscribe to our channel and join us as we explore the silent wisdom of the ages. Together, we will learn how to be like water, unbreakable, adaptable, and in control. Together, we will learn how to avoid the solid and attack the void, efficient, strategic, and wise. Together, we will learn how to practice strategic mediocrity, patient, humble, and unstoppable. Together, we will become the kind of people who win before the battle even begins, who control the room without saying a word, who live life on their own terms. Remember, the greatest general in the world often has no name in history, not because he was weak, but because he was wise. Not because he lost, but because he won before the war even began. You too can be that general. You too can win without fighting. You too can control the room with the power of silence. All you have to do is embrace the wisdom of Sun Tzu and start living strategically.